So with FNCS right around the corner, I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking to do your absolute best this season, me right along with you. And in order for you to do that, you need quite a few things. Number one, you need a drop spot, of course. Number two, you need to obviously know how to play the game a little bit. And number three, you need your computer or whatever it is you're on to run just as good as everybody else, if not better. So today we're going to cover that third topic, and I hope this video helps you out a lot. So stay tuned. You want to watch every single tip. They'll all help you out a lot in their own way. And let's get right into the video. Starting here at number one, before we even get off Fortnite, there's, a few things in here we should talk about. Now, these are the best, right? Sometimes performance mode isn't the best for your computer, but more than likely, performance mode is better. Go ahead, try DirectX 11 and 12 if you would like to. More than likely, I'm going to say it again, more than likely, performance mode is the best option, so stick with that. But let's start with this. So we got full screen, 1920 by 1080, VSync off, always off, 240 frame rate, rendering mode, performance, brightness, whatever you would like. Some people play with it max, and some people play with it like 100. I used to play it at 125, but I'm just gonna put it at 100. That don't really matter. Colorblind, up to you. A lot of people play Deuteranope or Protonope, but sometimes you'll see this one too. This kind of just brains your game a little bit. But if I play competitive and I want to use a colorblind, I use Deuteranope, so give it a shot. 3D res, 100%. If your PC is running a little bad, your laptop, you're on a lower end, this part's for you. Now 90%, it still looks good, and it helps out a tad. It's not gonna help out like if you put it on 0, obviously. So but if you have it on 0, you can't see anything. But yeah, I keep mine on 100. I have a really decent PC, and 90% is really good too. Everything else on low. I've gone over this quite a bit. A lot of people mistake view distance as how far you can see people, and that's not true. You can see people at the same distance as somebody with this on Epic. If you have yours on near. So view distance does not matter. Only changes how far you can see loot. Only changes how far you can see loot on the ground. Next, audio settings. All of this is up to you, but sound quality, put it on low, helps a little bit with latency. The only settings in here is replays obviously off unless you like them on, and then energy savers 100% off. There's no reason for these to be on at all. Record replays, I recommend having it off as well. You don't need high quality replays at all. This should always be off. And then record replays, if you like going back and watching, because you don't stream or something like that, you can have replays on if you'd like to, but it does cause extra delay. If you want my FOVs, here they are. FOV 175. Here are my settings. I play 4.0, 30, 100%, 100%. Here's my forward, strafe, and backward angle. I play 1600 DPI. Now that we're on the topic of DPI, we'll go ahead and talk about this. So what DPI is, DPI stands for dots per inch. Now, let me show you real quick. I'll open up the Razer app. Now, I use a Razer Viper V2 Pro, which is the fastest mouse you can buy as of right now. What I mean by that is not how light it is, anything like that, but the click response time. That means when you click the mouse down, how fast it happens on the game, whether it's wired or wireless. I play wireless because there's a wireless mouse. You can also play wired, but it's the same thing. And what makes this way is the Razer optical switches. You can look it up if you'd like. I also have pictures on the screen. But yeah, it definitely is the fastest mouse you could buy. A lot of people like the G Pro Super Light. Now let me explain that. That mouse is extremely good as well. It is really good. And it's really light. But look into them, look at the differences. They're roughly the same thing. If not, they're the exact same weight, just the Razer Viper V2 Pro clicks faster. So I recommend it. It's up to you. So when it comes to like a mouse, you would rather have 1000 polling rate, which is like the HZ. It says polling rate HZ. You'd rather have 1000 over 2000. 2000 will make your mouse die faster, and a lot of people say their thing runs smoother, like their mouse and everything looks smoother, the gameplay looks smoother, but it's not true. 1000 polling rate is definitely the sweet spot for a polling rate. Nothing lower, nothing higher, and that's exactly what you need. The Razer Viper V2 Pro actually it's capped at 1000, and it can go under that, but there's no point. And then the G Pro has, obviously, as you can see, 1000. It can go to 2000, and I think the newer one can go to 4000, which is just not needed at all. I don't even know why that's an option, but yeah. But anyways, here we are. I play 1600 DPI, and this gives less latency, which is input delay, than 800 DPI does. So I recommend giving it a shot. It is not a difference between, I'm going to go on 800 and start editing really slow, compared to going 1600 and start editing really fast. That's not how that works. You probably won't feel the difference. It's just minimal little changes. that I just recommend, to make your computer run at the best of its ability. Anyways, let's move off DPI and let's move on to some other things. Let's talk about a ping increase or decrease. What I mean by increase or decrease is sometimes, I just want to throw this out there, sometimes apps like this do not work, but there's always a reason for you to try because they can work, right? So this is updating real quick, and I want to talk about this app called Gear Up Booster. Now, Gear Up Booster, you can boost absolutely any game you want. You can do it for free. Link in the description. You can download it for free, boost the games for free, do whatever you'd like. And I would just recommend giving it a shot. I'm not going to talk about this for too long. Just try it out. It helps a lot for ping. And when you play competitive, ping is a huge disadvantage and advantage. Now, disadvantage meaning you have high ping and you go fight somebody with low ping, they're gonna take your wall first try. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to come across a booga and clicks on the same team. You're gonna get messed up. They're gonna zero ping you. Okay, so definitely try an app like this. Highly recommend this one. There's other apps you can try, of course. If this doesn't work, I recommend trying other apps. Definitely give these a shot. I've tried two. I've tried Exit-Lag and I've tried Gear Up. For me, being completely honest, they work roughly the same. I've been using Gear Up Booster because Exit-Lag has a lot of problems for me. It makes my ping stutter at the worst times ever, and it's just not really, what I'm too happy about. So I've been moving on to Gear Up Booster a lot because they help my ping just the same. They keep me on hard zero, and they make my game feel a lot better than what it would without an app like this. So yeah, definitely recommend. Now that we're on my home screen, you can see everything I have. Now there's a few steps you can take for this process, and this is cleaning out your PC. Now you have a recycling bin up here for everything you deleted. You always right click this, empty this, delete all files. Now that is the easiest way to clean out your PC, and it doesn't even necessarily clean your PC unless you deleted some things. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to clean out your PC. In your settings. So you go to settings, and then you want to go to storage. So let's full screen this. We'll just type it to find it faster. And I type 2 T's. Storage settings. Right here we are. Storage sense should be off always. You do not want storage sense on. It just runs in the background and causes extra delay. I'm sure any video you watch on this topic will also show it gives a lot of delays. Anyways, so as you can see, temporary files. Click this, remove files, and continue. It'll delete all files and it'll clear up some space. Now that is something you can do, and I have another way and a few other videos, which I will show in this one, that you can delete temporary files as well. Alright, back at the home screen, I've gone over this one quite a bit. Now in the taskbar, when you click this, it might look different for you guys. A lot of the time you'll see like a bunch of pop-ups, and you don't want that. And I'll show you how to turn it off right now. So go to taskbar settings. These three first ones, they're all off because I keep them off, but here they are on. So minimize that and I'll show you. So when you click this, right, you have a thingy here that pops up, shows all different tabs, my Discord and my settings, and then you have this right now. This, as you can obviously see, right, there's so much stuff here, like so many pop-ups, and there's like videos and all kinds of stuff talk about the everything, and you don't really want this here. Now obviously you can assume why you don't want that there. It's a lot of pop-ups that you don't need, so just go to your taskbar settings and turn off all three of these. I've gone over this quite a bit because this is a very crucial setting. This helps you out a lot with delay. This goes on laptop, computer, especially a laptop. You definitely don't want that on. Now, anyways, let's move on from there. Now, a lot of people have been asking my Nvidia settings. I've gone over them quite a bit, and a lot of people ask me for my Nvidia profile inspector settings. Now, I do not use that. I find it very overcomplicated, and I try to keep my things kind of for everybody and not just the people that are really good with maneuvering around a computer. Now, I stayed away from the GeForce app, which is this, for that particular reason as well. Now, the GeForce app, actually, you can change every setting through this app, right? And it also has a way to take you straight to the NVIDIA control panel, which is what we're going to talk about, right? I don't use Profile Inspector. I find it way too complicated, and I feel like this is just fine for you. So now that we're on here, my settings are not how they should be. So I'm going to quickly go over what you need. Now, if yours looks like this, which this is roughly default, some of them are changed, but if yours looks like this, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through it. So it should be off. Application controlled should be off, right? Scroll down just a little bit. All this is off, all driver default off, low latency mode on, max frame rate off, off under that, preferred performance. Now, if you have a few settings that you don't see here that you have and I don't, I recommend not touching them or finding another video on that part, because I obviously don't have the settings, so I can't cover it, unfortunately. And then preferred performance, rendering GPU, obviously click your graphics card. You can leave it on auto select, but click your graphics card. No reason not to, because it's just going to select that anyways. If it lets me get off this now, Jesus. Anyways, prefer maximum performance, 100%. Application controlled, driver default, off, allow, high performance, off, on, off, off, one, off, auto. That is how that should be. Hit apply, because you can't really move on if you don't. And then go to this configure surround thing up here, and make sure this is set to your graphics card, not auto select, and not your CPU. Definitely not your CPU. Fortnite is more of a CPU based game, and I've said that multiple times. What that means is it uses more of your CPU, which is the Ryzen 7 or i7, i9, Ryzen whatever 5, whatever you're using, that is your CPU, right? That is what it uses. And if you don't know what your CPU is, you can go to Task Manager, go to Performance, click CPU, and it'll say right up here, I have a i7 13th gen, which is pretty decent, especially for Fortnite. And now that we're on topic of the CPU, now, I've gone over this. I don't want people to get confused again. I covered this in my last video as well. There's a few things in here that you need to make sure is correct. Make sure your processes are on max, obviously. And if they're not, let's say your processes are messed up or you don't know what your max is, I'll show you how to check that right now. You want to go to System Configuration, right? And then go to Boot. And then obviously your current OS and Advanced Options. Now, this is what default looks like. If you want to know how many processors you have, you click this little check mark, and you'll see you can put it on max. I recommend not touching this at all. Just make sure yours is correct. Make sure your logical processors are max, whatever is all set up right. Make sure everything's fine. Make sure everything's good and chilling, right? This does not mean I have it on 1 for the people that are going to get confused. I'm not telling you to put it on 1 either. So if you want to put this on max, then uncheck it, you can. If you want to put this on 1 and uncheck it, you can, right? It does not matter what you put this on. As long as you have this unchecked, it will not use this number. It will be on default, which should automatically be your max, but I recommend not touching this. And the stuff down here, obviously don't touch, because I don't even know what half of this is down here, right? And then just click OK, and then you're fine. You just don't leave everything else alone. You don't really need nothing else. Moving on from that, we're gonna go to ADJ, which is adjust the appearance, and we're here. Now you want to go to here, right, which is where we are, not advanced, not any of this other stuff. Visual effects, sorry. Click custom, uncheck everything. Yours will be checked off. Only keep the 2 settings I have right here unchecked. That'll help when you drag things around. It makes everything else a little less animated and everything like that. Now that we've gone over Nvidia settings, you should already feel a big delay difference. You should see quite a bit of an FPS increase. Sorry, I can't speak all of a sudden. And you should already be feeling great. That is the end of the video. If you did like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.